we'll see who turns up. I think a few people said they can't join until 9 o'clock, so we'll see. But Alex, the sculptor and creator of Arcworld's going to come and hang out at some point. And I think a guy called Gobbo, who's very heavily involved in writing the rules for the game. So I think we're planning on quite a few people who are pledging to the Kickstarter to come and either watch or hang out and have lots of questions to ask those guys.
Have you stopped streaming on Twitch altogether, or?
Not altogether. I've just I'm actually quite liking the sociable side of Hangouts, to be honest. I mean, I could dual stream at the same time, but I don't know how enjoyable that would be for Twitch viewers to hear me chatting to everyone else in the Hangout, but then not being able to see that. So I don't know. And
yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah, I do like the kind of sociable side, because with Twitch, it's good, but you just chat into a chat box and it's not as good. Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
Is that Gobbo?
Yeah, it is. Good evening.
Good evening,
so it's a bit tin can.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but my cameras don't seems to work.
Have you tried setting it up in the with the cogwheel thing? In the middle of the top of the screen, basically, you have a cog settings. You might need to set it up in there.
I wondered if some of you guys could help me keep an eye on the chat box tonight. I'm going to send you a link to it. I'll try and keep an eye on it, but I'm going to paste it into the our private chat box here, and then that should take you to the pop out for the chat box for the public who are hopefully will be tuning in on YouTube. So if we can all keep an eye on that and maybe help answer some questions. I know Andreas, you might not be able to answer some of the Arcworld questions that come through, but if anyone else asks about painting and streaming, I'm sure they'd appreciate your experience.
I can make up answers.
And hey, Alex, we can see you, but we can't hear you.
The problem with the Hangouts is that the quality drops so fast when you're only like 5 or 6 people.
Does it?
I'm not sure. I had an HD mark in the lower right corner before, but when Gobbo got his camera working, it all went pixel.
All right.
We can't hear you now, Alex. You're still quiet.
Nope, can't hear you, Alex, I'm afraid. Let me just check at my end. I can't see how it can be anything I've done because I haven't clicked.
No. I think it's the Hangout thing, or if it's my connection, basically. I have the same problem when I'm in a Hangout with a few other friends.
I meant Alex's mic. I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I haven't turned him off or anything, so we can see your mouth moving, Alex. But that's a shame. What about, so at the top of the screen, Alex, there's a cog. If you click on that, there's a camera, there's a microphone and speakers. So in the microphone section, just make sure you've chosen the correct microphone. No. Have you got more than one? I can't hear you, Alex. Have you got more than one microphone to choose from in that drop-down box?
It's not that you have a physical mute button on your microphone, so that might be the problem.
Could be that too.
Or the mic is basically not connected.
Could be. Alternatively, in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen of the entire computer, if you right-click on the speaker symbol, and I think it's recording devices, click on that, yep, and then that'll bring up a list of microphones, and then make sure the one you're trying to use is selected as your default.
What you can do is you just reload the Hangout to see if it's glitching.
Yeah, that's another, you could hang up, Alex. So a couple of things to try.
Because when you came in, there was a small sound. I'm not sure if a Gobo made it or if it was you, and then you disappeared and you got a mute thing.
I did.
Oh, you muted him.
No, I didn't.
No, Alex got one. So I'm not sure if if there's a glitch. So he basically muted himself, or the Hangout thing did. Now you muted him.
Yeah, now I have, yeah, just to see if that worked.
Nothing.
Nothing, Alex. Yeah, hang up and come back in, see if that helps. We've got a few people in the chat room. Daniel's back. Hi, Daniel. It's nice to see you on the Facebook group as well recently. Rob, good evening. So for people that don't know, Rob is the caster for Arcworlde. So he's been doing all the lovely resin casts.
How about now?
Yes!
Now!
Yes!
What did you do? What did you do?
The good old-fashioned method of turning it on and off again, I guess.
And your camera's working much better as well now.
I think I have a dodgy USB port. And
Might be USB 2, USB 3 issues.
Yeah, because I plugged it into the back of the PC and it seems to be working a lot better. So
they always get happier when they get it in the back. No. Kids might be watching.
Right then, let's do some painting, and let's do some eating. By the looks of it.
Yeah, I've just got back from the sports centre, so I haven't had a chance to have tea yet.
What have you been doing there, Alex?
Mixed martial arts. MMA,
really?
MMA fighting, yeah.
Awesome. Is that a new hobby or?
Well, it was a taster session this evening and this late afternoon, and I've been interested in getting into it for a while, so I went there and it was amazing.
Was it?
Instantly clicked because I've never been able to find a sport that really works for me. Yet I just took to it instantly. I think it's going to be really good. So training properly starts next week.
Oh, nice one. And you're a pretty muscly guy already. Is that going to be good or is that going to be bad? Is that going to slow you down or are you pretty fast? Or
I'm not sure because there's so many different techniques to learn because there's sparring, but there's also like kicks and grappling as well.
Yeah, so you can crush people's heads.
Yeah, essentially.
The conditioning is really important. Basically, if you can run with your body, and I mean, run far and without losing breath, then you should be okay with the body you have, so to speak. But if you gain too much muscle and have too bad conditioning, you won't last long.
Well, it's going to be something that I'm going to introduce a lot more kind of cardio training and stuff into the I do. I mean, training's twice a week, so if I kind of jogs and stuff like that on top.
We can hear you, Gobbo.
Okay. Could you hear me before? Because I had the feeling that you can't.
No, this is the first time I've been able to hear you for quite a few minutes.
Yay! I don't know the English word, but I have a defect microphone cable. It just switches on and off.
Right. Well, you're much more clear now. You're not like in a tin can anymore.
I stop moving my microphone now.
All right. Good one.
Alex is pretty. I don't know the correct word, but not so loud.
Quiet?
Can you make him a little bit louder?
I can. Yeah, I can do. Just speak for me, Alex.
Speak.
I don't think he's too bad. I'll turn him up a little bit. I am going to turn myself down a little bit because I'm about to do some airbrushing for, and I don't want to distract you all. And so you keep chatting, and I'm going to turn myself down. And I'll apologise, Alex. I am working on the Manticore tonight, which I know is not your favourite, but lots of people love it, including myself. So shut up.
It's fine. I'm going to be making a new one anyway.
I'm on your side, Alex. It's not my favourite too.
Thank you, Gobbo.
Right, I'm going to mute myself slightly, so keep talking. Have a look at the chat box and answer some questions if they're coming in.
Right, how do we get a link to the YouTube page? Because I can put it up on the update that I posted on the Kickstarter.
The link is in a post in the official Arcworlde group. You can just copy and paste it.
Yeah, and it should be in my comment in the on the Kickstarter page. So it's exactly the same link that I posted earlier because I scheduled this.
Copy and paste it.
Yeah. Oh, this is weird. I can see myself.
Yeah, you better mute it or we'll get an echo.
Yeah. It's all right. I've got the link now. I can escape. There we go. Also, on the Hangout, it's stuck on one screen. It doesn't hop between.
Yeah, that's because you probably clicked on one of the mini screens down to the right. Then you lock it for that user. Okay, if it's a white border around it, then it's locked.
Yeah. So how do I put it back to normal?
You click it again, and it will
Excellent
reset it, so to speak.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Welcome in the world of modern media.
There's no end to the possibilities.
Yeah, but only if you like it and use it.
Yeah.
I always get this when I try and introduce the concept of PDF rule sets. It's like, if it's not printed on paper, it's not really real.
Yeah.
Right, have there been any questions? Oh, I don't want to use it.
I do really like your orcs, Alex, but was it necessary to give them all that hair?
Well, yeah, because I thought to make them hairy hillbillies would be a lot more fun.
You just thought it's in a few years Gobbo will paint one, and just in the moment that he thinks, oh yeah, I'm done, he recognizes that there's hair all over them.
Well, the hair could be the same color as the skin.
Nah, it can't.
That's sheep.
No. The sheep under his arm will get a different color too.
You're not afraid of a little hard work, are you, Gobbo?
Excuse me? You're still very quiet and hard to understand for me.
I've also got a mouthful of chicken, so that probably doesn't help.
He asked if you're afraid of some hard work.
It's just like
torture.
First, I'm not. Second, it's just I'm painting to play with them colored. It's not like painting is the fulfilling part of the hobby for me.
Yeah, you're more aren't you?
It's a little bit like rules are to you, Alex.
Yeah, of course. It's the kind of the bit that you find the most difficult to engage with.
Yeah, it's just necessary to do it.
Yeah.
That's no reason to enjoy it.
Right. I better crack on with the photoshopping for getting this update ready. I think people are going to be rather excited about this one. miss Adam. When is he coming back?
Is it for a question for me, David?
I've got the Photoshop. I've got the web browser small, so I can't see any of the comments. So if anyone has any questions, can somebody let me know?
He's downplaying it, Angel.
So, are you going to sculpt today, Alex?
I think so. Once the update's gone up, I'll be doing a bit of sculpting. Yeah.
Ah, you're working on updates.
I am indeed. Yes, we've just broken a stretch goal, so I need to.
You need to get to work.
I wasn't expecting for it to be done so quickly.
Every broken stretch goal is a good one.
Exactly.
Yeah, Daniel. David, it's custom made. A friend made it after my design.
So the
it's-
interesting question is, will your friend do commissions? And on which price?
I'm not sure. I think he said that it took too longer time to do it. The large holes were okay but then I added the small holes in the back, so the bottles cap knobs could be fitted in if I wanted to, and those took forever basically. So he doesn't want to make any more of this kind, sadly.
So he didn't laser cut it.
Yeah, they are laser cuts, but it took a really long time. He had got a small, cheap laser cutter, so it's not that fast.
So maybe he's willing to give the cutting files to David, and David can use one of these. Give us a file, and we cut it for you. Commission services.
I can always ask him.
What are you guys talking about?
The paint rack.
Ah, gotcha.
David, there is a company making basically the same as these, but I don't know their name. I can look it up. What you could do is basically take 2 pieces of plywood and drill holes in them. You won't get them as neat, but it works as well. There's
David,
a instruction thing on it on YouTube.
I could send you a link with the designs that I made for mine. They're not as nice as Andreas, but these are the ones. If you can get access to a laser cutter anywhere, then you're welcome to have the design I made. So it fits my Foundry ones, and then I did one for Vallejo, and then I did one for the Badger paints that I use. Ow. Just burnt my fingers on my lamp, putting my webcam back on. So my webcam's velcroed to my lamp. Just, there we go.
I can't post links, by the way, in this YouTube chat.
You can't?
That's because Adam don't like you.
Yeah.
I can too. He does not like me either.
Add or remove moderators. There are currently no moderators. Add a moderator. Channel username or URL. Channel username. What's your username, Andreas? I wonder if I add you as a moderator, you'd probably be able to.
Andreas space Peterson space Paintner.
Andreas space
Peter.
Peter space
No, Peter double S-O-N. Peterson.
S-O-N.
Wouldn't it be easier if you just have wrote a comment?
Do what? Sorry.
Yeah, I can.
Hi, Dave.
Hey guys, how you doing?
I'm all right. You're upside down. Well, sideways, but that's fine.
Post it in here.
Sideways.
In the group chat so you can see it.
And are you wanting it to post it to the public?
Yeah.
All right.
That's better, yeah?
Yeah, it's better.
Ah, superb.
Well, Andreas, if you post the link in our group chat, and then I might be allowed as the.
That's the easiest thing.
There we go. And what is it you're posting?
It's a tutorial thing on how to make your own paint rack, basically. It's really, really nice. So if David wants to be a carpenter someday, he can do this.
I am a carpenter. Send it to me too.
It's in the group chat, so you can see it already.
So nice to see you, Dave.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
You've got Alex, the main man, in the chat. Dave is a mega Arcworlde fan, so be prepared, Alex.
I know, bet him.
I know, but I think his fandom of Arcworlde has grown since.
It's now unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's like I was born to play this game.
That's what I like to hear. Passion.
Oh yeah. I want to write a book about the adventures of Albionic and Warband.
Do it. Be great.
Have I got your permission?
Yeah.
Oh, you heard it here first.
Do it. I'm all about fan fiction, as long as it doesn't contain that kind of fan fiction.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't.
Alex, what do you have
Rule
against
34.
fan fiction with you and a big, strong Bayuk in a hut down the way, all alone?
Stop it, it'll make me blush. Update is almost ready.
So you're about to drop a big update on the
big
Kickstarter.
Update, yeah.
Drop a fat one. So what are you working on tonight, Dave?
So tonight it's the good old Ogre Trooper again.
Nice.
Making it work.
You
See what
converted
these
one.
Yazans can do.
The one you've converted.
Yeah, love him. Absolutely love him.
Have you seen this, Alex? Dave's been chopping up your models and
No, I haven't seen this actually. Hang on.
doing crazy stuff.
So what I've done is I've taken his, the sword, the conventional sword of the Ogre Trooper.
Oh yeah.
And I've put on the axe from a certain wargaming company, which I won't tell you what it is, but he's holding the axe. I've called it Lucille.
Very nice. Very nice.
So
it
looks.
A friend of mine did something very similar, but he gave the ogre a halberd.
Oh, brilliant idea! Yeah.
Like one of the Albionican halberds just scaled up.
Yeah, that's a perfect idea.
Let me know if you can hear my airbrush and it's too noisy.
No,
You can hear it, but it's not too noisy.
Okay, good.
But you could always take a normal brush and stop cheating.
He's right.
Get into the 21st century, Gobbo.
It's not cheating if you don't get caught.
Give me the money, Adam, and I will do that. Or you could always buy a new airbrush and send me your old one.
Well, you know what? Next time I do, I will. That's
okay.
Wow.
The problem is the compressor is often the thing that's most expensive.
Yeah, I've had my compressor ages, and it's on its way out. It's on its last legs. I really need a new one. It's so loud.
It was in its last leg half a year ago when you
Well,
were.
this is true. This is true. So if it explodes tonight and my head gets filled with shrapnel, then you won't be laughing then. But the shop that I bought it from, I did a demo for him a few months back, and I don't know if I forgot to take mine or conveniently forgot to take mine. So he loaned me a shop one, and it was almost silent. I couldn't believe it compared to mine.
If your head explodes on camera, though, that would be amazing.
Yeah, like scanners.
Yeah, it'd be like a snuff film.
It would go viral shortly before YouTube would remove it.
You get banned from YouTube and Google because you showed explicit violence when you died.
I think he won't care.
He'd do it for the art. It'd be an artistic statement.
Ah, come on. Alex, I don't like you anymore.
Why? What have I done now?
Found more hidden features on your models.
Is that a Warplock moment?
Yeah. It's even worse, that Warplock moment, if it's parts from a color you already finished.
Oh.
Oh, what did you spot?
It's like I looked 3 times if he had his belly showing. I checked the example models on the website just to avoid that. And after I decided, okay, there's no way that there is a belly showing on this orc, I found it.
So, Alex, what's it like being a wargaming playboy?
It's pretty sweet, to be honest. Living the dream. Is there such a thing as a wargaming playboy?
I think you're a role model out there now.
Really?
The interesting question is, what does your girlfriend think about that?
I don't have a girlfriend.
Excuse me?
I don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah, I know. What does she think?
No, I don't have one.
Oh, you don't have one?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you had one.
I did, but...
Alex,
Oh, that's sad.
It's a shame Adam is married. I think you two would go well together.
It'd be a bit incestual. Everyone thinks we're brothers.
Yeah, literally, everywhere we go, like, are you two related?
Weren't we done with that fan fiction thing?
It never ends.
Ideas for my stories. Oh, yes.
Stories in the night time.
Right. Brokeback Cajun Swamps.
Brokeback Mountains.
It's ready. Is there any way for me to show off?
There's a screen sharing options to the left.
Right. Yeah. Screen sharing.
It's the green one up to the left. If you move your mouse to the left of the big picture thing, it will be a small slide out. There you go. It's a skeleton horse.
Oh, I've seen that model. I've seen that. It is amazing.
Show it again. Show it again.
No, well, it's going on the page soon anyway. So
That's no argument. Show it again.
go on then. I suppose I could. Right. 3, 2, 1.
That's not fair. Stop whistling while he shows that thing. Alex, you need to talk if you want to show something.
Oh, that's £45 I need to spend now.
But it's no horse.
I love the Blood Oak.
Who said it was a horse?
It was me. I was just being funny.
Alex, tell me about the boom da boom. I love that concept art. I can't wait to see that turn into a miniature.
Oh, the Boomadoom.
Boomadoom.
Yeah. They're one of the new miniatures for the Undead Pirates faction.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, and they will be very interesting.
Does he have a cannon?
No, he's just got, you know, the cartoon style black grenades with the little fuses coming out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hang on. Let me get the picture of the artwork. Problem is, it shrinks everything so small that you can't really see it. So I'll show off.
So do we have rules for that Gobbo, that character yet?
I have rules for like every model Alex has made or plans to make.
I need to go peep at that then.
And if Alex wants me to, I can spoil things about the rules, but only with permission.
You have my fullest permission, Mr. Gobbo.
Okay, so I may spoil whatever I want, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, so people ask me about the rules for upcoming models. For which one do you want a spoiler?
The boom dub bomb boom shakalaka boom boom one, please.
The Bombardoom.
Right.
So he will maybe mainly be a support unit. He has these bombs he can throw, and he will have like two kinds of bombs. A small one he can just throw at people and do area effect damage with, and a really big one which is really hard to use because he has to stand for it, and it costs all his AP and stuff, but it has a really big area control effect. It's more like, do you see that bomb over there? If you don't move away, it will kill you.
Yeah.
So he's very good and in securing mission goals or driving people out of mission goals so they can't hold them.
Sounds brilliant.
Sounds dirty.
What does the WGB stand for on the picture?
Work in progress.
Yeah, so it means that
it means that lazy British bastard didn't finish the scalp. Sorry, Alex. But you know I don't mean it.
It's okay, darling. I forgive you.
It's something I had to look up online, actually, what WIP meant.
WJB.
No,
yeah.
JB. It was a JB. WJB.
No, WIP, because like Adam was whipping everything, like whip.
Oh, right.
And I was like, what is this? Like, there's another one as well. It's
OOP.
BNB, brand new inbox or something. That was another one I didn't get. There was something. There's something else now.
The world's full of them.
You guys were you were talking about. I've got a whip, and I'm like, all right, cool. I bet you can. Yeah.
Let's get this bad boy.
So let me.
I'm going to put in another request, please, Gobbo. Tell me about the Blood Oak, because I love the sculpt, but I've been a lazy playtester and haven't looked at the rules for it.
You're not alone. You're not alone. Just let me open my files so I don't tell you something wrong. Where are my monsters?
But what I might do is I might this week or next week proxy my Undead Leviathan as the Blood Oak.
Yeah, Blood Oak is flavor-wise is that special plant who use undead corpses to walk around and do stuff. And from the normal really big guys, I think it's the most defensive one rules-wise. So it's basically not as offensive as, for example, the giant, but it's really, really hard to kill. It has a lot of armor. It has some life-draining abilities, so it can damage other people and get back hit points for that. And of course, it has an attack profile of a giant-sized troll because it's in the skeleton of a really, really old and mighty troll. So it can do the usual stuff like just press people into the ground or pick up and throw people. And the flower itself can make a spore cloud to blind people all around it.
Oh, that sounds so cool.
Yeah, I hope it plays cool as well.
I don't think it'd matter if it were good or bad. I just like the model. Well sculpted, Alex. Well played.
Thank you. Well, it's going to be going up in probably the next 5-10 minutes, so hopefully the rest of the Arcworlde community will think the same as you.
They will do. Because, like, I think on Facebook, Adam said, "Oh, brilliant model." I think everyone sort of got wet in the pants when they saw that.
I think it's the second best giant creature model Alex did for the Kickstarter.
What's your favorite?
My favorite is that Arctic dragon he spoiled a few weeks ago.
All right.
I'm totally in love with that one. I usually don't like big models, but I really, really need to get that dragon if the stretch goes, make him available, because it's simply the best dragon ever made, if you ask me.
Oh, thanks, Gobbo.
Okay, well, so while we're on the subject of that dragon, give us a sneak peek of what it can do, Gobbo.
Yeah, it's more or less a dragon. So it's the same as the other dragons. It's one model army, and is able to take up the fight with a full warband. From the normal abilities, it has more or less the same like the fire dragon, but it's less breath heavy. So while the fire dragon has that fire breath as its main attack, and the Arctic dragon has slightly better attacks with their physical body, so like its force strike and stuff. And the ice breath has also attacks, but has also utility features like the ground frost ability, where it can just create heavy terrain on the field, or cone of cold, where it can just freeze people and make them unable to move for a turn.
Is that the one the size of a small cat?
Or a small chihuahua. Where's Andreas gone?
If I can't afford that, can I just stick like my cat on the table and play with that?
It's not the first time you have stuck something on the table and played with it at the Games Club, Dave. You'll get banned again.
It was only you that saw me.
It's not as cool. Your cat is not as cool as the dragon.
You haven't met my cat.
No, but it's an Arctic dragon. He should be cooler than your cat.
If your cat can freeze people, Dave, then fair enough. I'm taken in, and it is pretty cool.
Oh, well, yeah.
Literally cool.
Boom.
Can you take dragons with any faction or even on their own? Is a question.
Excuse me?
That's the interesting thing about Arcworld, I think, is that you can play as a dragon all by itself, and the mechanics of the game enable you for that to work quite well, very well. So you can have a war band of, let's say, halflings trying to take down a dragon, and the large monsters in a game of Arcworld have a rule called split activation. So the dragon player can say, well, I'm going to walk forward twice, and then I'll split my activation. I'm going to see what the halflings do, and and then a halfling needs to activate, so he might rush forwards and try to attack the dragon, and then the dragon might say, right, well, I'm going to spend 2 action points doing a particular attack now, or I might spend several action points breathing fire, or it may move again. So you still get that back and forth in the game, like you do when a warband plays a warband.
Yeah,
Okay.
dragons are, even amongst the bigger creatures like the giant, the blood oak, and even the dragons, an exception, because dragons are not only able to be fielded as a whole army, they are meant to be. So every dragon costs as much as a whole warband and fights as tough as a whole warband. Whereas, for example, giants or the blood oak are cheaper than a dragon and weaker than a dragon, and are meant to be played within a warband, or at least with some support from smaller models.
Yeah, the dragons are the ultimate badasses of Arcworld, essentially. You're not going to get much stronger than that.
The alpha predator.
How many points is the big dragon?
Exactly 400 points.
Wow.
So the same as a warband.
Brilliant. So you could take 2 giants fighting 1 dragon. That'd be epic.
No, you can't, because a giant is about 235 or something.
Oh, the giant and a couple of trolls then.
That would be cool. It'd be like Jurassic Park, with the velociraptors taking on the big one. That'd be awesome.
I am planning on getting my hands on one of these giants and make a warband out of a giant and a couple of sheeps. So
yes.
he's basically a giant shepherd, and
sort of like a Skyrim giant.
I never played Skyrim.
Oh, Gobbo.
What? I don't have unlimited time. I need to play other games. I need to write rules for some random English dudes. I need to make my studies.
Oh,
it's a great game, Gobbo.
Well, the good thing is that it's never going to go away. It's always going to exist. So you can always come back to it when you have a bit more time.
And I have other great games I need to play before that.
Like Minesweeper and Snake.
No, like for example, Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I've been playing a bit of Portal 2 today. I really enjoyed that.
Luckily, I'm already finished with Portal 2. It's a great game.
Adam, your problem, mate, it's those kids.
Yeah.
It's that wife.
It's your own fault for furthering the species.
Well, he's slowly. I'm training him up to be a video gamer and a war gamer. So
I would expect nothing less, Mr. Boys. I expect Seth to be the next young prodigy to hit the wargaming scene.
Well, he's very keen on painting, and he's
with a dad like you, I would expect nothing less.
Nice.
He could probably beat me, I reckon, strategically as well. So. You've done the job of parenthood. Well done, Adam. Congratulations.
No, you're right, David. You don't have, but it's already finished, and you might get it.
I'm sorry, Gobbo. What did you say?
I just answered on David's comment.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, there's a Dave in the chat box. Dave.
Oh, hey, Dave.
Everybody's dead, Dave.
I like it. I was reading an article that everyone should know a Dave.
True.
And I put back, I'm Davey Daveton. The ultimate Dave.
The Meta Dave.
Meta Dave, yeah. It's like
Is that like Daveception?
Yeah.
if you travelled back in time, Dave, and met yourself, that would be one almighty paradox, wouldn't it? The Dave Davidson meeting Dave Davidson. I think the universe would come to an end. I think.
I think it would explode. Yes.
What about the Davy Davidson Society? Just bringing back loads of copies of yourself. Could be like a philanthropist's club or something.
I believe it'd be like a gentleman's club. We'd all sip brandy and we'd discuss
All
Dave
right.
matters.
Mm.
There'd be Dave-related things going on.
What other Daves would you have in your gentleman's club?
Well, there might be a Dave. There'd have to be some sort of doctor. So Dr. Dave.
What famous Daves or Davids would you have in your club?
I'd have
David
to have,
Bellamy.
Maybe I'd have David Hasselhoff there.
Oh, got to have the Hoffmeister.
That's another good Dave.
For all the Doctor Who fans, you could have David Tennant there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, I'd definitely have David Attenborough.
Oh yeah,
He'd be in there. He'd be in there.
He's the most excellent Dave.
He's the Dave.
The Dave.
He'd be loving Arcworlde with all the monsters.
I hope so.
I reckon he'd have a pet griffling.
I took a lot of inspiration for a lot of the creatures that I initially designed years and years ago from many visits to the Natural History Museum in London. So,
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
The Death Kiwi was inspired by a taxidermied hornbill that I saw there, where I got the idea for the crest part of it.
Wow.
And oh yeah, I think that might be where I got the idea for the Undead Leviathan as well, because they have lots of whale bones and whale models there. So
have you seen Adam's Undead Whale?
Many times.
It's got a seagull. Brilliant.
Where'd you get the seagull from?
It's from a company called Industria Mechanica. I bought them. Have you seen the big floating ship in the sky that I painted?
No.
Oh,
No, I have not. I want to see this.
I'll send you a link. And I bought the seagulls for that because it's like an old tugboat that flies around in the sky, and the seagulls are sat pooping on the top of the tugboat. But I saved some for on top of the Leviathan.
Nice.
Let me see if I can find you a picture of it.
Right. The Blood Oak is online.
Nice.
Okay, so we need to stop right now and go over there and pay write like fan comments.
Gobbo, that's a great idea with the fan fiction. Loving that.
How would you put the Blood Oak into a sexy fan fiction?
How would I put what into that?
The Blood Oak into sexy fan fiction.
It could be asleep, and you could have two wood elves getting it on its back, and then suddenly it wakes up and like, what are you doing?
And gets a boner.
Oh.
I've just put a picture in the chat box for you, Alex, of my tugboat.
Ooh. Right, hang on. I'm gonna have to Oh no, there's a chat box there. Oh, that's pretty. Very nice.
Thank you.
Was the beard on the pilot your own design, or?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, if I remember rightly, I think the cast was slightly off, so I painted a beard over the top of it to...
Ah, very nice. Was it in resin or plastic?
Yeah, resin.
Yeah.
The whole thing was resin, apart from the cabin and the roof. That was like etched brass, I think they call it.
Ooh.
It's really
I've never heard of that company before.
Industria Mechanica.
Yeah.
Oh, go to the website. They do some amazing.
I'm gonna say it sounds right up my street.
Oh, come on. Yeah, done.
I've sent another link to the chat box for Industria Mechanica if you want to have a peep.
Thanks, buddy.
It's a good job you can't see my face, guys. I was going to have a shave before I came home tonight.
Oh, don't put yourself down, baby. You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. But seriously, it's not a pretty sight. It will haunt your dreams.
You don't know what my dreams are. Being not pleased.
Is Arcworlde an insight into those dreams, Dave, Alex?
Well, you might not believe it, but the idea for the Undead Leviathan came from a dream. Like I dreamt that I was inside a pirate ship that was built inside of Undead Whale. It was like a submarine kind of thing. And I thought, well, that's probably not going to translate into miniature form very well, but if I put the pirate ship on its back, that way people can see it. So that's where the idea came from.
Love it. Brilliant.
Speaking of which, has anyone seen the new Pirates of the Caribbean trailer? It's coming out next year.
No, does it look good?
Oh,
Awesome.
Javier Bardem, the guy he was the bad guy in Skyfall. He was also in No Country for Old Men.
Oh yeah. He's brilliant.
He's the big baddie in there.
I need to watch the fourth part of the series so I can watch this one.
I mean, to be honest, I think the fourth one was it was obviously canon, but I don't think the story of it will affect the next one. It seems to be
But if I get it right, the fourth and the fifth will be related, so it would be a good thing to have seen the fourth one. But aside from that, the most important film in the near future will be Rogue One, anyway.
Yeah.
I watched a brilliant film the other night called The Hunt for the Wilder People. That was really good.
Yeah.
It was in New Zealand. It was a good film.
Oh, Adam.
Yes. Dave.
Adam.
Dave.
I've recently watched Pan's Labyrinth.
Ah, what a film. Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it.
That's a film they really need to make miniatures of.
Yeah. The Gaunt Summoner from Warhammer Quest reminds me of the Pan's Labyrinth guy with eyes in his hands.
So Alex, what do you think about satyrs? Do they call them satyr in English?
Yeah.
Pan. Yeah. The.
Satyr.
Yeah,
Satyrs.
right, yeah.
Satyrs.
Goat people.
Devil goats.
Yeah. Really cool. Yeah, I must say the one from Pan's Labyrinth is particularly beautiful. I mean, in a creepy way, of course, but it's still amazing. I love to see a board game board game based on Pan's Labyrinth. That would be really cool.
Didn't realise it was getting old, the film now, you know, and I've just watched it. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant film.
That was great.
And it's all in Spanish, but it doesn't feel
No,
that bad.
No, it
It's-
doesn't. It doesn't. It blends in so well.
I really like watching films where everyone's speaking in the language that it's the country that it's set in. Like, I often thought it'd be amazing to watch a film about the Romans, for example, and they'd all be speaking in Latin. That would be really cool.
They should have done that on Gladiator. So, Alex, when you are sculpting, how often do you swear when something just doesn't go right, and you mess the face up or something? You know?
It's kind of strange because I've been sculpting for so long, I can kind of do it without really thinking, I suppose. It's kind of like, you know, when you have like a habit and you've done something for so long that you can do it without. It's like, for example, if you're walking a particular road that you walk every day, and you can almost,
you can follow your feet. Yeah. Second nature.
Yeah. Like, I think if it's a difficult model, or if it's a model that the concept isn't quite right in my head, particularly but most of the time, like when I start a model, I know exactly what it'll look like in my head. I very rarely do concept art and things beforehand. Stupidly, I actually do the art for the model after it's been sculpted.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's great. That is.
I mean, if you're working in oven-baked putties, like beast putty, Fimo, or things like that, you can swap and change a little bit. But seeing as I mainly work in milliput nowadays, it's an air drying clay, so you've got a finite time to, tweak, change. So if I do something and I think, actually, you know what, I'm not quite happy with that, I'll just have to cut the piece off and start from scratch, which is I think the times where I swear the most is when because I have a tiny little desk oven in my room.
Oh, right.
I've done a model. I set it at a very low temperature, about 50 degrees or something, and a model that would take 2 hours to dry takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes to dry, so it means I can work a lot quicker. And sometimes I turn it just a little bit too high, and a model which I might have spent an hour sculpting, put it in there, it just goes cracks, and some choice language has escaped my lips in those instances.
Do you put pizza in that oven?
Actually, I have one big food up in that oven as well.
That's what I'd be doing.
Because I work in my bedroom, and my bedroom's on the second floor, so the ground floor, the first floor. So it's a long walk downstairs. And sometimes
there you go.
I've got like leftover pizza from the night before or something. I'll just pop it in the oven.
That's the best Arcworld revelation all night. Is that all our beloved miniatures that we're enjoying painting and playing with have shared an oven
with a pizza.
with a pizza.
Yes.
Not at the same time, obviously.
Excuse me, Adam. They could have shared an oven with far worse things
That's true.
than a pizza. Everyone likes pizza.
If anything, the pizza would make the models tastier, surely.
I like the sound of this.
So, how's the Manticore looking, guys? Okay. Coming along.
I like the natural colours you're giving it. Looks almost cheetah-like.
Yeah, that's the kind of look I'm going to go for. I'm going to do some leopard spots later.
It has really nice bright colors, much brighter than I expected.
I am a very slow painter.
Well, this is, how long have we been going? An hour, exactly an hour with the airbrush, so it just shows how quick you can paint with the airbrush. I do like it.
May your airbrush clog and your paints, whatever.
May your airbrush paints dry out.
I've just been cursed.
Well, your head's going to explode into it.
I think we should give Adam a proper challenge, and if he really buys that blood oak or one of the dragons, he should be forced to paint it with normal brushes only. What do you think about that, Adam?
I think I'll see you this time next year with a finished model.
If I ever do an Arcworlde painting competition, one of the rules will be that you can't use an airbrush.
Yay! Here, cheers for you.
The models are sculpted traditionally, so they should be painted traditionally as well.
Boo.
Yeah.
Sorry, Adam. You're still the king of painting, though, mate.
Adam, you just have been thrown out of the competition because you won't finish the model on time.
I'll just let you know 6 months in advance.
Yeah. What everybody doesn't know, I'm working on it. I've been working on it for 6 months already.
So you admit to be a cheat, then?
Was that a cheat or a sheet?
A cheater.
A cheater.
A cheater, a bloody cheater. But you don't need to admit it, we already know it. we can hear all that cheater noises in the background all the time.
Yeah. So, Gobbo, those commissions you asked me to do, where do you want them posting again?
Excuse me? I didn't understand you. Could you please repeat it?
I was trying to make a joke.
He was threatening you about the commissions. They might not arrive to your doorstep.
Oh, you're now willing to do commissions for me.
Well, not if you don't like airbrushing. I'm going to have to throw them all in the bin, aren't I?
No.
no.
I like the airbrush if you're working for me.
Hypocrite.
You know, it's all a question of priorities.
Airbrushing is more efficient, which obviously appeals to the German.
Gobbo, are you going to take that from Adam?
Excuse me?
Are you going to take that?
I didn't understand anything. You guys are all too quiet.
I believe Adam is way out of line.
What are you on about? I think the German comment came from Alex, not me.
Oh, did it? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Come on, Dave. Same team.
I didn't hear any German comment. Could you please repeat it, Alex?
Yeah. I said airbrushing is the most efficient way of painting, so obviously it should be appealing to you, Gobbo, as a German.
We Germans like to do it in the
From behind.
working way, not without any shortcuts, you know?
Oh, okay, that makes sense. In that case, I retract my statement.
I love causing trouble.
But I may will revoke all of that anti-airbrush statements once I get the money to buy one.
Adam Reeve has joined the chat room. Hi, Adam. Known Adam for quite a while. He's used to play a lot of Malifaux together.
Yeah, if he likes Malifaux, Arcworlde is a good system. It's also a small, nice skirmish.
It's actually how we managed to ensnare Adam into the Arcworlde group to begin with.
It was actually, yeah. I was playing in a Malifaux tournament and I saw the undead Leviathan across the room and fell in love.
Ooh, shiny came across, and obviously we became instant friends. And it's just been a wonderful story ever since.
And then Adam speaks to everyone and gets on board the Arcworlde train.
Choo choo!
Choo choo! Jugga jugga jugga.
Choo choo!
Adam, I think almost all the games I play are inspired by you.
Are they?
Yeah, I think so.
I am a bit of a a game pusher.
Yeah, but the community needs more people like you, Adam. You know, there's so many.
A pusher.
Yeah, it's like, no, I only play 40k. I don't want to play anything else. There are amazing games out there which are just waiting to be played by those brave enough to.
But 40k is the best system ever made.
Said no one.
Maybe during the second edition or something, but since then I think.
How has it changed? Because I've alwaes been more of a Warhammer fan. Sci-fi doesn't really do much for me.
They changed. Basically, there's always been the power creep, and then they did some smaller changes. I mean, the biggest changes were that the what's it called, tanks and vehicles and stuff. They removed all the targeted damage areas and stuff like that at first, but then they. It was power creeping, and they tweaked some stupid rules where people couldn't get into close combat on the same turn. They did certain things because they always ended up 1 inch in front of them, so people couldn't basically charge people. It was stupid as fuck. I hate them.
Your microphone's a little bit quiet, Alex.
Pardon?
Your microphone's a little bit quiet, I think.
How about now? That is much better.
Much.
I'll just have to hold it like this.
Hey, Alex,
Oh, you sound like a man again.
did you mail the link to this session to all your backers?
Yeah, I did. I commented it on the update where I was saying that we were having this.
Okay, because we have like 9 views, which is not as much as I expected.
Mm.
Hang on, let's see.
9 lucky people.
Well, one of them is me, so it's.
I'm gonna say I think I've watched it as well, and I've been telling everyone about it as well. So they are the only people. Those 9 views are probably my friends.
Well, the post has 6 likes. So
I think my mum's one of them.
Thanks, Mum.
Flytrap has commented he loves the Blood Oak, Alex.
Ah, excellent. I'm glad. I'm very glad about that. It'll look even nicer when Mr. Karame's done a tasty paint job.
Yeah. What colour shall I do the mane of the Manticore?
Pink.
Pink.
Orange.
What do you think about because it's a razor mane. It's made out of sharp things. What about a non-metallic metal gray like thing?
Well, I painted the sharp barbs in the mane the same color as his scorpion tail.
Like the chitin.
Yeah, the chichinous part. So I'm just thinking about the hairy part of the mane.
I agree with Gobbo. I think like a steel grey would look very cool.
All right, I'll give it a try. I was thinking something along the lines of white. So yeah, a steely grey highlighted up to white. I'll give that a try.
Definitely.
Yay! Someone agreed with me. What happened?
So we're going to see some sculpting from you, Alex, tonight?
Maybe. I'm just kind of enjoying chilling with you guys, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that's cool.
Yeah, and my arms hurt, so it might not be best. Delicate models.
From the fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, my arms hurt.
Oh no! Boo-hoo!
What a world!
To be honest, I've been spending most of my Arcworld time has been editing videos and photoshopping and stuff like that. So it'd be nice to eventually get back into sculpting again.
And what videos might they be?
Well, Mr. Boys, that video would be the first Arcworld gameplay tutorial.
And which crazy fools volunteered to do that?
Oh, a certain number of crazy fools whose names shall not be mentioned in such polite company, but it should be rather fun. Yeah, unfortunately, the camera quality and the microphone quality of the recorded part is absolute garbage.
Is it? Oh no.
So when will that video be online?
Well, I'll be probably putting the finishing touches to it tomorrow morning. So, fingers crossed. Like, I'm gonna submit it to the development team for feedback, just to make sure that I've covered everything in that first particular section before I post it, and then I'll do the tweaks. And fingers crossed, it'll be up either tomorrow night or Friday night.
Gobbo needs to have a look because I'm always getting rules wrong.
Yay! And then I tell you, oh, you got that wrong, and what will you do? Film it again?
I'll just have
special effects.
You know that screen that they put on TV when like the thing stops.
Oh, it's the puppet with the little girl. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I'll just do that one and kind of do a voiceover saying, actually, the proper rules would be this, and this, kind of as a voiceover.
Adam is being punished in the meantime.
I'll just Photoshop a picture of your head on like a GIMP or something.
Oh, God.
What should I say, guys? I made a script where every single rule was written down correctly. So if you botch it, it's not my fault.
To be fair, on the voiceover bits, I'm taking it from your script, Gobbo, so my parts should be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers crossed.
It'll be fine.
I'll be alright. Be alright, yeah.
So is that Frost Dragon finished by now?
The what, sorry?
The Frost Dragon, Arctic Dragon, whatever you call it, the big snowy one.
The Arctic Dragon is very close to being finished. There's a little bit of tweaking, but I don't want to rush it.
Hi, Hund.
What?
Good. It's gonna go to Kisa.
Are you talking to your dog?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
He just woke up, so.
Alex.
Can we see it?
Andreas has just bought a new Chihuahua.
Oh my God! Look at that thing.
Alex, here's the question for you. Are you self-taught, Alex, or did you have a Nottingham vet take?
I will be back soon.
Okay, no worries, Andreas.
What's that, Gobbo? I was too enraptured with the little dog.
There's a question for Alex. Are you self-taught, Alex, or did you have a Nottingham veteran take you under his or her wings for a ROM flight trap factory?
Nope, I'm 100% completely self-taught. Everything I've learned has been through trial and error from the tender age of 13 or 14.
Just look at him. I mean, he's the perfect example for crazy artist.
Starving artist, more like.
That's self-chosen.
I've been living on noodles and baked beans for the past year. But no, I've never been formally taught. So, I mean, there were a few tips and tricks that I picked up from the forums back in the day where people still posted on forums. But, like, for example, what putties to use and what tools to use. Like, a very kind person once sent me a big batch of their old tools. Say, look, you're starting out. Try this. And that was the first time I ever used the silicon-tipped sculpting tool, and it just completely revolutionized the way that I work. So yeah, but I've never had somebody sit down with me and say, look, this is what you need to do and stuff. Which is kind of strange because when I teach my course, I do a sculpting course at Trent University every now and then. Like, I could just copy what copy what somebody had taught me. I had to kind of think, well, how did I learn this, and how did I figure this out? And it's a challenge to explain things that, to me, because I've done it for so long, it's like second nature. Like, I don't know, the amount of water that should be placed on putty to make it usable, but not so much that it makes it slip off and not stick and things like that. A lot of the people who come to my courses have never even done anything to do with miniatures before, so it's quite interesting to kind of, I don't know, really analyze the way that I work and try and think of the best way to teach it.
I've found that following being on your sculpting course, the frustrating thing is that I've got the I can see how it's done, and I think my sculpting is slowly getting better when I get a chance to do it. But the frustrating thing is now I can look at other people's models and think, I know how you did that. I know how you've made that model. I can't do it yet, but I can. I guess it's a frustrating and an interesting thing from a hobby point of view, as I can see, I think I know which tool or how you've done that particular little bit. It's been quite an interesting experience, actually, learning to sculpt for that reason.
But that's the thing. That's the start of being able to do that.
Yeah.
One of the things that I would really suggest, I mean, it's not something I ever did, but if I were to go back in time and kind of give my young self some advice, would be try to sculpt existing models, but sculpt copies of them.
Right.
So you take a model from I don't know, a company out there, not naming any names, but maybe ones that are found quite often, and sculpt them yourself, but try and copy it, and that's where you will as Adam said, was you can see how they did it. So if you apply what you know to that, and use that as a guide, eventually, I mean, I suppose a lot of my sculpting technique I learned through converting models rather than starting from scratch. I didn't actually sculpt my first from scratch miniature that I was completely happy with until I was about 15, 16-ish. So up until that point, I'd always used an existing miniature to work from. So I suppose I kind of tried to copy that style of the existing model. So maybe in some essence, I did do that. But that's what I would suggest. I think converting models, building upon existing ones, trying to copy the style would be a really good way to kind of like slowly progress those skills without feeling too out of the depth. I have a feeling I'm waffling.
No, I was just about to say good tips.
My display cabinet's amazing, thanks to you, buddy.
Oh, thanks. Can we have a look at it?
Not at the minute, mate, but I will get a picture up in future.
Yeah, send us a picture.
Yeah, I will do, mate. Will do.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's just one whole shelf is Arcworlde. It's amazing.
Oh yes. That's what I like to hear. Now, how much of that is actually painted?
There's the gremlins from Fiasco.
Yeah.
The Albionicans from all the. Oh, there's over 1,000 points in Albion troops.
Oh, nice.
There's a lot of them.
Oh, how much did I enjoy? Sorry to interrupt, but I've just remembered our game the other day, Dave. I got the fairies to do Whisper on the Fire Lancer.
Oh, where you cheated? Yeah.
I didn't cheat. It was.
Cheated. Yeah.
Was. That's called good tactics, Dave.
Lucky die rolls, you mean?
Unlucky die rolls. So the fairies cast Whispers on the Fire Lancer, which then, if he went next time the Fire Lancer activated, he had to take a cowardice test, which he then failed. So then I got to take over the activation of the Fire Lancer.
Oh,
so I turned him around and set all three of the Albionican crossbowmen on fire. It was genius.
That's not nice of you. There have been 2 more questions to Alex in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Will you read them on your own, or should I just read them for you?
Well, for the record for the video and people who look back on the video on YouTube later on, I guess it's probably better to read them out loud.
Okay, so it's Hurt One asked, do you hang out with other sculptors like Kane, whatever? And Adam Reeve asks, one interesting bit of sculpting is a lot of places are doing 3D sculpting on a computer. Has that been any interest?
So the first one was asking if I hung out with any other sculptors. Not professional ones, I guess. Well, ones who do it as a full-time job. I mean, my friend Jonas from Denmark is a sculptor. In fact, he was one of the sculptors who were posting on the forums years ago, who first inspired me to take up sculpting. Also, my friend Rob Alderman, he does a bit of sculpting as well. But off the top of my head, I don't think so. I mean, to be honest, outside of going to shows and things like that, and obviously working with the people on the Arcworlde team, I don't really hang out with many people in the industry. A lot of my friends who I've made through doing my job have been fans, rather than actually.
Get away from me, you dirty geeks!
No, it's one of the many bonuses of this job is that I get to meet a fantastic number of people who are really, really cool, and I enjoy the company of. I mean, I've made a lot of friends through doing what I do, which is nice. The only problem is that because obviously most of the interaction I get from people in this job is at shows and stuff. People travel from all over to get to those shows, so not many of them are very local. So it's not as if I can just nip down to the pub with them for a drink or anything like that.
That's just your own fault for living in the wrong country.
Yeah, obviously. But it's one of the reasons why I do enjoy going to shows, because it kind of brings the community together, and people who I wouldn't have normally seen, I get to spend time with and hang out. I mean, like a lot of the especially once everyone's set up at the show, people go around the stands and say hello to all the people they know in other companies and things like that, and obviously I get to meet a lot of the Arcworlde players and collectors, which is also another amazing part of the job. And when I go to shows abroad or anything like that, it's always good to meet those guys as well. I mean, in fact, I first met Gobbo at a show abroad, so he wouldn't be here talking with us right now if it wasn't for that.
I just have been thinking about how much work I could have avoided if my girlfriend hadn't liked your miniatures.
Well, when she
and the most funny part of this is that you aborted that line of miniatures she liked.
What, the ogres?
The Scottish ogres, yeah.
I haven't aborted them. If the stretch goals are hit, then I'm going to get them done.
Okay.
So, we'll
But-
definitely see on that one.
They won't come as a faction.
Yeah, well, they might do. Depends on what happens in the next edition of Arcworlde, I guess.
Hint, hint.
Hint, wink, wink, nod, nod. What was the second question? Oh yeah, digital sculpting. It has been something which has intrigued me. I think, obviously, the market is going very much in the way of digital sculpting. You know, a lot of companies out there, especially the bigger ones, all of their models 3D digitally sculpted. As an actual technique, it interests me, but I think I enjoy working with my hands too much. I think traditional sculpting, especially in a few years' time, is going to be a skill that not many people can do. You know, as it becomes more and more common in the industry to use computer programs to make miniatures, I think we'll lose a lot of the old techniques, and it's something that I do want to carry on. And I think especially for Arcworlde, which is a kind of traditional fantasy setting, you know, the models have a very vintage style to them. I think doing it traditionally is probably, I don't know, it feels a lot more genuine to me. And I'm obviously not insulting digital sculptors, but for me personally, I don't think there's anything quite like having models that have been made by hand by somebody. I'm obviously very biased, but we'll see. Now, I'm not saying no to learning digital sculpting. I mean, it's in fact, digital sculpting would fit very nicely to a project I have in mind for the future, and it might be a reason for me to learn it. But I think for Arcworlde, I'm going to try and keep it as traditional as possible.
Also, the digital sculpting is very expensive. Not the sculpting, but getting the molds done and stuff.
Yeah, definitely, because obviously when it comes to traditional sculpting, you do have to pay for materials, but when you're working with milliput, one tube that costs about £3 will last you about 3 months. Whereas when you're having a model digitally sculpted and printed and such like that, there is another cost to faction in. But then again, I think that a lot of that is kind of outweighed by how quickly people can do stuff digitally. Because obviously there are a lot of textures and things that can be copied and pasted. You know, if you want to make multiple versions of a model, say if you're making a unit, like you don't have to re-sculpt one every single time. You can essentially go copy paste, and then just change the arms and things like that, and it's done within hours. So there are a lot of bonuses, especially because like when you're working with plastic kits as well, it's a lot easier to have a digital file to convert into the metal molds that are required for injection molded plastic, rather than working with the 3-ups like in the days of yore. I mean, I think if I were to do plastic kits for Arcworlde, say if I was working on a mass battle game, I think I would probably prefer to work with the 3-ups and keep it traditional. As I said, you know, old skills that need to be kept alive, even if it takes a bit more work and a bit more effort. I think the artistic challenge of it would appeal to me.
Can you explain about 3? Oh, I can hear my voice. Who's got the mic on the speaker? Oh, it's gone. Yeah, can you explain about 3-ups, Alex? Because I've seen 3-ups, but I don't understand why they have to be made.
Right. I'm not 100% sure on this. So if anybody in the comments section knows otherwise, then please let me know. I'm not saying that I am the ultimate authority on this. It's just what I've overheard through talking with a few people. But apparently, the way that it works is that the model, if you were to make a model and you wanted to make it in plastic, you have to sculpt it 3 times bigger than what it would be. And that's because the way that it's essentially, the molds are engraved into the metal is that you have a pen of some kind or a tool which you trace over the lines and the contours of the model, and this is attached to a machine which essentially via a system of winches and pulleys does the same, essentially copies your movements but in miniature. I think that's how it's worked.
I can more or less tell you how molds for plastic things are done, if you like.
Please do.
Because I learned that I'm not an actual carpenter. I'm a pattern maker for foundry industries. This is what I learned before I started my studies.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, you're using a CNC milling machine. I don't know the correct English term for that, but it has a really small milling drill, like the thickness of a hair, for example. It's really small, and you can just directly mill whatever you like with different tools into that mold. And if you don't use digital, don't use digital ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You have machines. They basically can copy things. Like you have like a scanning machine, which is also a tool, but which recognizes contact. And the other one is just copying the same motions.
Yeah.
So you make a bigger form, like 3 times bigger,
Yeah.
and then just scan with that other tool all the lines and the frames, and the other one just mills a smaller version.
Okay, so what I said wasn't too far off then.
No, it wasn't.
Ah, excellent. It's
But
good to know.
you don't need that anymore with modern CNC things where you just do it right out of the computer.
Yeah, exactly. So if I were to do plastic kits, the choice would be either learn digital sculpting and do it all digitally, which would probably be cheaper and much more efficient, or do it the old-fashioned way, and as Bobo described. And I don't know which one I prefer.
Regardless for which way you decide to go, plastic molds are expensive.
Yeah, as I said, I'm just speaking metaphor. Well, what's phone and metaphor? Theoretically here, I'm not saying I'm going to do it. It's just saying if I were to do it, maybe.
So people, if you want Alex to do it, go and back the current Kickstarter because he needs money for that.
So if you want ranks and ranks of plastic halflings, let me know. Yeah,
so, Alex, going back on earlier,
we
was talking about sort of like how you met people
through
the game and demoing and such.
Yeah.
That's how I met you.
Yeah.
And I remember I sort of had this little like fanboy moment, and I was like, "Ooh, it were amazing. You were great."
Oh, so silly.
No, it was amazing as well because like I met like your old man, your brother, your mother, even your grandma was there. It was fantastic.
Yeah, well, it was her birthday around then, so she wanted to come along and see all the fun that we were having.
Oh, it were amazing. But where your gran were talking to me, she were talking a bit like, I could take you. So I think maybe
you what?
She could take you, as in put you in a fight.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, she's a very stubborn woman, so that wouldn't surprise me at all.
I think maybe. In fact, Alex, I asked you, have you ever played a game of Arcworlde? You said no. Have you had a game since? Or?
To be honest, there's so much to do with the sculpting inside. I leave the whole kind of gaming side of that to people who are much wiser than me. So, I think I've never had a recreational game of Arcworlde. I suppose I'm more of a hobbyist. The fun side of that comes from making and painting the models.
Yeah,
definitely. And I think, I don't know, as I said, I'm much happier to leave, because obviously the game design is an extremely important part of the whole process. So I want to make sure that the people who are doing it know what they're doing, rather than, whereas if I was to do it, be a bit more of a bodge job.
So why again I am doing that job?
Exactly. Seeing, I'm trusting somebody who knows what they're talking about.
I felt that was a shame that for you to create such, for you to create this game, you'd never even had a game. It's a shame.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure I'll get around to it one day, eventually. Because it's funny, because like whenever I tell people, like non-wargamer people, about what I do, and they're like, "Oh, so you make," I say to them, "Oh yeah, it's like a board game, but a bit more complicated and things." And they're like, "Oh, that sounds really cool. You'll have to teach me how to play one day." And I'm like, "Ha ha, yeah, maybe."
Knee slap. Yeah, of course I will. Yeah, anytime. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. As I said, my level of expertise is the visual side rather than the game side.
Practically. Oh, well.
I had a lovely conversation with your gran once, Alex. At I think that was at Leeds, the wargaming convention there, and she was asking me, what's the game all about? And I don't really understand it. And I said to her, it's a bit like chess, but with dragons.
That's the usual spiel that I say whenever I try and explain the concept of what a war game is. It's like, well, have you ever played chess? But it's kind of like that. But rather than moving on squares, you can move it wherever you want. And instead of pieces of wood, they're pieces of metal and lead that cost lots more.
I think the industry owes a lot to chess. I guess that's I suppose one of the originals, isn't it? War games.
And I think especially from people who didn't come from families who are into wargaming. I know a lot of people got into wargaming because their dad was into it, or their granddad, or uncle, or brothers, or whatever were into it. But I think, some people develop that kind of aptitude for competitive gaming through playing chess, because obviously it's one of those games that almost everybody knows how to play, and everyone does play at some point. And it's kind of like, it's one of those games which kind of, it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from, if you sit down in front of a chessboard, chances are you can find somebody to play with you.
I think that's crazy. I chalk that up to having crazy friends as well, actually. Adam.
That's actually a good question. How did everybody here get into miniatures?
I can tell you my story. So originally, me and some friends at school, and this is a really distant memory. I can, I don't know how old we were, but it was the little green plastic soldiers, and we used to paint red berets on them, turn them into red beret soldiers. I don't know if you remember those. And then
I am a youngster.
Yeah, so I think they still exist. There was a regiment called the Red Berets. So me and my friends, we used to paint all our green plastic soldiers with red berets on them. And then this older lad moved in next door to me, and he had the Judge Dredd miniature game from like the early 80s, I think it was. And then he introduced me to one of his friends who had, I think, the very first version of Space Hulk.
Cool.
And I remember seeing I think it was a Space Marine with a Gene Stealer's hand ripping through the base, like the mesh on the base, trying to grab him. And I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I was hooked on painting ever since.
I love hearing about the olden times.
The olden times.
Okay. For me, it was kind of similar without a new neighbor. I always liked playing war with those green and gray toy soldiers, but without real rules. We just had a die, and on a 5+ you were dead. And I played with my little brother, and then one day we made a I don't know how you call it, but when your school class is visiting a place, outside. So you
School
just
trip.
have an event from school, and we went to a shopping mall nearby. And a friend of mine and me stumbled across a Games Workshop shop, and they had I think it was the third edition starter of Warhammer 40k was out, Black Templars versus Dark Eldar. And then I had my first nerdgasm ever. And I was just hooked, and we bought that from after saving our money as schoolboys for 2 months, and yeah, that was how it started.
Very cool.
Someone's asked a brilliant question. Well, one that I'd like answering on the chat box. It's by Fly Factory again. He's asking about, have you tried different scales, Alex? Arcworlde in 50mm or 75mm collector editions. I would love to have a 75mm collector edition.
It's been something I've been thinking about, as well as doing kind of larger scale stuff, as well as busts and things like that. But I thought, is there a market?
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, I thought, I think a lot of people get into Arcworlde because they like the models and they think they're cool. But I think 20 or 32 mil is a very easy scale to get into because it's like industry standard, I guess.
28 would be industry standard.
Yeah, or 28. Whereas 32 mil is quite popular amongst the indie stuff, and especially with things like Age of Sigmar being much bigger scale as well. I think it adds to that.
What about? I mean, you know how Kickstarter works much better than me. Could you put on the Kickstarter so anyone who's interested, this is a possibility or a stretch goal or an add-on, and if enough people pledge for a 75mm collector edition, would that be possible, or
Maybe.
Or is that putting you on the spot? Sorry.
Well, I think obviously it would depend on how ready that model would have to be before I put that as an option. Because obviously with the Kickstarter and Troubles in the North in general, like I'm on a pretty tight schedule already.
Yeah.
Everything is done in time. So, I mean, it could be potentially a project for the future, I guess, if there was an interest. But once again, does interest translate to sales?
Yeah. I guess, the beauty of the internet and everyone being able to talk to each other, if we could get together and say, right, if we ever wanted a 75mm collector's edition to paint or just have as a souvenir, what model would that be? And then everyone who wants one votes, and then, and then a mini unofficial Kickstarter, say, right, this is the model we want producing from Alex. These are all the people that will pledge to it, and we all pledge the money.
You stole my question, Adam. I was going to ask you, if you say you want a 75mm collector's edition thing, which model do you want for that? So which faction, which kind of model?
I would want to sculpt myself, but we'll see what everybody else says.
I'd recommend one model from each faction, because maybe a Bayark player.
Yeah, that's too easy. One from each faction is too easy. Just
named characters.
Which one would you want the most?
Named characters, heroes, and such.
I'd love
be the best bet.
A gremlin headhunter.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's cool.
I would love to do more kind of miniatures for painters and things like that, but once again, like, now that I'm doing this as a full-time job, I don't have the luxury of just being able to make whatever I want anymore. So I need to, weigh up the pros and cons. I mean, maybe if I went away on holiday for 2 weeks or something, and that would be a passion project for me. I think if I was to sculpt any 75mm scale model, I would love to do like an off-duty Albionican soldier. Kind of like with his helmet under his arm, probably having a roll-up or a roll-up smoke or something, leaning against a wall with his halberd or his crossbow packed away, and maybe he's like reading a newspaper or something like that. Like that kind, because I think at that scale you can add a lot more detail to things. I mean,
The thing is, most the 75mm sell for, if you make a bust, for example, they seem to sell for about 50 to 70 euros. So it's, I mean, it's not, people will buy them if they feel they are good enough and they are willing to pay 50 to 70 euros.
Definitely. I mean, it would have to be in resin at that scale anyway. So.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a possibility. I mean, I suppose once things have died down with Troubles in the North, I could maybe have a sculpt one and say, look, here's one. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it could be a way to branch out to new markets and things like that, I guess.
Yeah, I guess the idea of an Albionican would, I can't guarantee it, but you might tempt the military modelers. I mean, the military modelers who are more comfortable with, cause branching out, because you get some military modelers are, if there's a button out of place or a rivet that's wrong, then
go into bits if the epaulets aren't the right.
Yeah. But some are a bit more relaxed than that. I might think, it kind of pushes my buttons, and for the military, it pushes my buttons for the scale. But I quite like the fantasy side of it as well. I don't know.
I would like a Bajork, a cooking Bajork, who's making a big pot of gumbo. That would be an awesome 75mm model.
I mean, that's the thing. I would love to do that, and maybe like a postcard of artwork of each of the characters, and on the other side, maybe a bit of backstory of who they are and stuff. Because one of the main enjoyments for Arcworlde for me in creating Arcworlde is the backstory and coming up with these characters and settings. So I would love to. I mean, I would even love to do a 75mm scale version of the Explorer, for example, and create the characters so people are like the models aren't just grunts and stuff like that. Like, I would love to go into the background of like a Bajork brute, or a halfling cook or something like that, and make them characters rather than just troops, I guess.
All my miniatures, they have their own backstory.
Nice. That's what we like to hear.
They've even got a little. I mean, they've got sort of names. Some of them. Adam famously named my giant Rombold.
Oh yeah, good old Rombold.
Which is the local legend of a. What is it, Adam? He's just a really tall man, isn't he?
So legend has it on the next. Everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people might have heard of Ilklymar because of the famous song Ilklymar by Tat. But
as I know that song.
But next door to it is another moor called Rombold's Moor, and legend had it that a giant lived on there, and he fell out with his wife and used to lob boulders off the side of the hill down into the town. And there's a statue of him in the town centre where I live. So that's why we named Dave's giant Rombold after our local giant.
Very nice. What does the statue look like? Does he just look like a big man, or does he look like an actual giant?
Yeah, well, he's a big, strong man, I suppose. He's got a boulder above his head as well, hasn't he?
It's a big brass sort of statue. Yeah, he's holding a boulder over his head, about to throw it. Actually, yeah.
Nice. I'll check it out.
If you, yeah, it's really good. It's
probably a poker stop now.
I think it is. It used to be a fountain years ago.
So when was the statue made?
Oh,
It's been there since I was a little kid, so I don't know.
Donkeys years ago.
Donkey's years, yeah.
Aye. Right, gents, I'm just going to have to nip and refill the old water bottle. I'll be right back.
Okie doke.
So, is someone of you planning on coming to Germany next week?
Is it Essen next week?
Excuse me?
Is it Essen?
Essen, yeah, the Spiel.
The Spiel. I wish I could. It would be. I need to go one year, definitely. Are you nearby or?
I work in the town next to it, and I will work like all days on that fair.
So I can come and stay with you one year and.
You're welcome.
Visit. Oh, thank you.
Just come over and stay over. You just have to live with an airbed and need to be willing to sleep over in my student diggings.
That's okay. I've been a student. I've got an airbed. I've got a sleeping bag.
I got plenty of airbeds.
Ah, cool. Well, then I need to. We need to get that arranged because I'd love to.
What have I missed?
I'm trying to.
We were just talking about you, Alex. You know, not talking about you, not to you.
That would be great.
We're discussing pajama parties.
Ooh, I like pajama parties.
No. Alex already decided to against visiting the Spiel this year.
Yeah, I just thought it probably isn't the best idea, what with the Kickstarter running at the same time, and the fact that...
Come on, you were just crying.
No, I know. And also, with funds the way that they are, obviously, I've been able to make new products for the shop whilst I'm making stuff for the Kickstarter. And I won't get the funds from the Kickstarter in until middle November, so I'm having to literally live on beans and ramen up until then.
Sounds like good eating.
It's pretty good. To be fair,
I live off roadkill. I found
they know to roadkill. Like if someone handed me a curry or something and said, "Yeah, it used to be a badger 30 minutes ago," I'd eat it. Oh,
nice, good man.
Yeah. Man.
I found a sandwich in a bin the other day. That was good.
Oh, sweet.
No, I feel sorry for the homeless.
I remember when I was at school, I was with a friend of mine, and I found a Rocky bar on the floor, and it was completely sealed packaging, everything. It was absolutely pristine. I picked it up and ate it, and the guy I was with looked at me as if I'd committed a cardinal sin. You can't eat that. You got it off the floor. It's like the wrapping's intact. Like literally, the state of the biscuit inside is exactly how it would be if you'd taken it from your lunchbox. Why not eat it? It's there. But
they don't understand.
They just don't understand. He looked at it and I'd taken like a dog turd off the street and just munched into it. What's your problem? It's fine.
The exclusives I'm getting tonight on this show is amazing. I should be given an award for journalism.
Are we doing this again next week, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more bin dipping and
yeah, stay tuned for
there's more dog shit to come.
Nice.
So, leopard skin. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, man, that's good. Have you gone with the rose spots?
So we are able to.
So I'm using pigments, dry pigments, to do the dots. And the good thing about them is you can remove them with a wet brush. So I'm going to go back to the middle of each one and remove the center to make them look like.
Oh yeah, I was going to say like there'll be like a jaguar.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We were talking about the how we got into wargaming, weren't we?
Yeah.
How many people are there still to go?
Yeah. Who didn't confess?
I know I didn't. Is there another person with us?
I think Andreas did.
What? I haven't said anything. I'm innocent.
Adam.
How did you get into miniatures?
Me?
Yeah.
I worked in a store, a reseller for Games Workshop, and also seller of fantasy items, books,
How old were you at
board games. 20, I think, 19 or 20.
So quite a late starter then.
Yeah, but I played board games and I played things like Talisman, Hero Quest, and stuff like that before.
Yeah.
And RPGs, but I didn't start with Warhammer and things like that until I was 20. So it was also the starter box with the Black Templars.
How about you, Davey? How did you get into it?
Do you know the little plastic green soldiers?
Yeah.
When I was about sort of 8, I was quite sadistic.
Right.
I used to sort of take them, cut the legs and arms off, and remake them into different poses. So I had I used to do things like this. Years later, I found a Black Library Horus Heresy book in a charity shop, and it says, "Oh, you can get a free model, if on the back."
Yeah.
And I think it were a Terminator or something. And we're like, "Wow, awesome!" So anyway, I read the book and I was just hooked on fantasy, sort of futuristic, sort of space marines. And it just got from there. I started collecting Warhammer, and that's where I met Adam then, because I wanted a game.
Oh, cool.
So
how long ago was this?
When were we going to Small World, Adam?
I think we disbanded Small World about 2 years ago now.
Yeah. But ever since being a kid, my favourite films growing up, I used to watch Krull, Willow.
Willow.
And then sort of Lord of the Rings came out. I jumped all over that and licked it. All sorts, a load of things like this just got. And then when Arcworlde came out, it sort of like you look at it and you've got like everything thrown in there. It's just great because there's parts of like sort of like you look at the Albions and they're like the. They just reminded me of like. Have you seen a show called Sharp? With Sean Bean?
Of course I know Sharp. It's part of the inspiration for the Albionicans to begin with. Sean Bean.
Seriously, wow.
Yeah, right. Of course.
If you've ever read Terry Pratchett, a lot of stuff on that is...
read Terry Pratchett.
I have to say that no model ever made by Alex includes any inspiration to Terry Pratchett.
No, none at all. I don't even know what Discworld is.
Right.
Pinocchio.
So obviously from meeting Adam, he got me into all kinds of games, and it just took off from there.
Some of them needed safe words, didn't they, Dave?
You are, mate?
Some of them needed safe words.
We don't talk about that. We just don't. We don't go. Shut him.
What happens in the basement stays in the basement.
Yeah.
The gimp stays in the basement.
Wipes the lotion on its skin. That's the pose again.
It places the lotion in the basket. Place the fucking lotion in the basket.
It gets the hose.
Yeah. So it's Adam's fault. I'm such a big nerd.
Oh.
Partly, because I grew up as a nerd, and no, I'm never going to change.
Nah. It's far too fun to win.
I think I need to go because I need something to eat.
Oh.
So I might be back later, depending on how long you intend to stay.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for letting me hang out.
I can do another 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then...
it's probably the time it will take for me to eat.
All right, okay.
But,
well,
you
nice.
can always PM me for the next time. It's always nice to sit and chat.
Yeah, nice. Nice catching up with you.
Yeah, the same.
I assume it's going to kind of be like always on a Wednesday, always at 8 o'clock, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I think this is quite a convenient time for me. So me and Dave have got Games Club on Thursday nights and Friday nights, so usually taken up with sociable things. So,
Or work.
Oh yeah.
Always work.
I have good news for you. I can't bother you next week.
Oh, Gobbo, don't be like that.
Why?
Yeah, I have to work on that fair, on the Spiel.
The Spiel.
It just opens on Thursday, but I will need to help build the booth and the demo area and stuff.
Can I force you to buy things for me?
You can pay me to do that.
Is Matt still good?
I prefer force, actually.
But
but
if you come over to Germany to
I
force,
can't.
you could just go on the fair.
Yeah, but I mean,
just let me tell you that I'm like 2 meters high and not the weakest guy there is. If you come,
I would probably drop you with the cake to your bowl. So I mean, that's okay with me. I don't fight fair.
What will you make if I fall and I'm landing on you after that?
Well, I will stab you probably.
I absolutely love violence. I love it. Kill each
No,
other.
but isn't there a postal service thing where you basically buy the games and you hand them in and they post the games?
There isn't, but
So a few friends of mine said they actually had that because
there may be publishers or traders that offer that.
that might be, yeah.
But they're like I don't know. I like to think like 600 people displaying their stuff. I'm not sure that every one of them will do that. What are you interested in?
No, I'm basically after promo cards and stuff like that. You can't get otherwise.
Ah, okay. That promo cards from which companies?
Days of Wonder, Played Hat Games.
Okay, I got connections to Playhead, so that shouldn't be a
basically
problem.
Dead of Winter.
Okay, I got some promo cards spare from Dead of Winter, so.
Ooh. Then Sheriff of Nottingham, if they have things like that, I think.
Just wait a second. I can see what I got there.
So, what's going on, guys? No fighting? What's happening?
I stabbed him. He's dead.
Oh, wow.
He's bleeding out on the floor.
Yeah, keep up, Dave. Keep up, Dave.
Oh my God!
Quickly.
Love it.
Oh my God! Atomics.
I mean, you could have let me know. I'd have thrown money at you and baby oil.
I'm not a stripper.
Make it rain.
Yeah, to be like, yeah,
Make it hail.
Make it rain plastic sprues.
Going to the strip show with only coins, making it hail.
Whoever asked, I got a Kodiak Colby spare.
What's that?
That's the winter of that promo of a Timera.
Okay.
But it's German.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. but
I don't speak German.
Are you a member of the Facebook group?
No.
Okay, so we make a deal. You will become a member of the official Arcworlde Facebook group and only say good stuff about Alex and his game there. And then you find someone going by the name of Gobbo Leon in that group, and you PM me, and I will see what I can do for you.
Sure, I will do that.
Adam, I've just had a question. Mr. Ian Foster.
Oh yeah.
He says, "Are you using the pigment with water to do the dots and then water to remove, or do you just use the dry?"
That's right. Yeah. So I've mixed the dry pigment with some water, and then just done some very simple dots all over, and then with a wet brush, licking it actually, but you could use water, just removing the center of the dots to give them that leopard type effect, and it seems to be working, I think.
You know that leopards don't have like rings, but they have little interruptions in that.
Yeah, the leopard dots are just spots, whereas jaguar dots are rose-like, I think.
Is it a jaguar? No, it's a panther.
Jaguar also has these little interruptions in the dot line. I mean, you're at a computer. Just Google jaguar.
I've googled leopard, and that's the kind of dots I have been copying. So
I mean, it looks great, obviously.
Yeah. To answer the question, a jaguar can be black, but not always black. You're thinking of a panther.
Yeah, because I if I recall correctly, there's basically a black and a black jaguar as well as the but I think the black panther is called. No, let's see. The black jaguar is called something else.
Jaguar with black fur.
I think they called something else.
Yeah, what they called? I think a panther is a black leopard.
It might be.
Panther's a black leopard, but I think there's another name for black jaguar. Let's have a look.
Adam Reef has said, "What are you working on, Boise?" So this is the Manticore for the game Arcworlde that I'm working on at the moment.
Very nice, Adam. Very nice.
Yeah.
Always nice. Always.
Gobbo, tell me what the Manticore can do.
Give me a second.
Thank you.
It's killing stuff.
I'm just doing some teeth, and it's. I need to concentrate on that, but I will tell you in like 30 seconds.
Thanks.
Oh, well, I'm going to fix myself some food.
Okay, nice. Thanks for hanging out, Andreas.
Yeah, thanks.
Have a nice meal.
Yeah, and here we have the Chihuahua.
Ah.
He's rather cute, I think.
He's lovely.
He's tired.
Wow.
Oh well. Good night, people. If I don't return before
Night, buddy.
everyone is leaving.
Okay. Good night.
See ya.
Take care, bro.
So
Thanks. Bye.
basically, the Manticore is some kind of medium-big monster glass cannon. He's really fast and has really strong attacks. with his claws and especially with his sting. So his sting, for example, does 6 damage, which is a lot for Arcworlde, and ignores armor on a crit. So he basically kills everything from grunt to elite level. Elite isn't wrong. Elite. You know what I mean, veteran.
Yeah. So if it can get a crit, it's pretty deadly.
Yeah. And he also got that barbed mane, so he has like a pointy and sharp hair on his mane, and will do 1 automatic direct broke body wound to everyone who's attacking him.
That's cool.
If he rolls a 1, so everyone when you roll 1. And something special, he will be the first official model using the leap ability. So he's pretty good in ignoring obstacles in his path.
Fantastic.
Do you know the +1 damage? Does that count for ranged attacks as well?
No, only for melee attacks.
All right, that's cool.
So I don't think there is something like a backstrike ability for range attacks. So everything like you get 1 damage back, or I can attack you if I block and stuff, only works on melee attacks.
Brilliant.
There was a ricochet.
Your dad's come to the rescue, Alex, and said puma.
A puma is a mountain lion.
Is it?
Puma is a mountain lion. I looked it up on Wikipedia, and apparently panther is the name for any member of the Panthera species that has dark coat. So that's leopards, jaguars.
Every black panther.
And apparently that's like just all kind of big cats. So lion, tiger, jaguar, leopards. So if there was such a thing as a black tiger, it would still be called a panther.
Oh, there are black tigers. There is this gene defect to what's the English word for people who are all white?
Albino.
Albinos, yeah. And there's the opposite thing to that, where animals and people are all black. It's even rarer, but there's some pretty cool animal pictures online from, for example, a all black lion, which is pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, he looks hench. Nice.
I'm learning all sorts tonight. It's good.
It's cool. The more you know.
Did you see that look in Alex's eyes? I feel like I gave him a bad inspiration.
Oh, the black lion is awesome. I want to do a lion sculpt now. Might be one I could save for when I look at the southern lands of Upper Arcworlde. That could be quite cool.
If you go for a lion, you could do something like a 120mm based male Sphinx.
A what? Sorry.
A Sphinx, isn't it?
Sphinx.
Oh, a Sphinx. That would be cool. I was thinking more like the Numenorian lion from the Tales of Hercules. You know, the one where
that's the big lion.
Yeah, he wears the pelt as a cape because it can't be pierced by arrows.
Oh, Google Kingdom Death Lion, Alex. That's a lovely sculpt, is that?
Oh, yeah, I've already seen it.
It's lovely, isn't it?
That's cool. Has that Kickstarter been shipped yet?
Yeah. What our Joel, who's been on this Hangout a few times, I was expecting him tonight, actually. He's got it.
Sorry, what are you saying, Adam?
My friend Joel, who sometimes comes to this Hangout and paints on this Hangout, he's got Monster by Kingdom Death.
Nice.
It's a good game, actually. It's weird, but in a good way.
Is he the one with Brian Blessed as his profile?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
That, I must say, that's one of the really difficult things about dealing with geeks on Facebook, is that very few of them actually use their real face as their profile picture. So when people come up to me at shows and stuff, go, "Oh yeah, Alex," and talk to me, I'm like, who are you meant to be? Like, they don't tell me their name. They just assume I know who they are. It's like, oh, sorry, you had Darth Vader as your profile picture. You look nothing like him.
I've never really thought of that before.
Nothing can ever beat my profile pic.
The Bayark, no, he's terrible.
Exactly. It's like there's been a number of times where I've chatted to somebody who I haven't met before, and I'm like, oh shit, who are they? And I'm like, oh yeah, nice to meet you again, mate. And I use kind of just names. I'm just like, oh, I know who he is. I don't want to ask his name because that's really bad, but like I don't know. And then when I look it up, and because obviously I remember all the names, but I don't recognize any of the faces because I've never seen them before.
That guy that bumped into us in Warhammer World, that was incredible though. So this guy comes up to Alex. We were looking around Warhammer World, and he says, "Oh, are you Alex Huntley?" And Alex was like, "Yeah." And this guy, I think he just mentioned, was it his first name? And you knew exactly who he was, what he'd ordered from Arcworlde. It was amazing. You really made his day. It was a cool moment.
It was amazing for me. Like I've never been kind of obviously when I'm at indie shows and stuff like that, people know who I am because people go there because they're into indie stuff. But especially in the heart of the evil empire itself, for somebody to come up to me and go, "Oh yeah, I buy your game instead," it's kind of like it was a very humbling moment, and I loved every minute of it.
In the heart of the evil empire.
Yes. Well, yeah. If you don't know, Gobbo, the Games Workshop HQ, also known as Warhammer World, is about 10 minutes walk from my house.
That's very cool.
Yeah, and it's an amazing place. They've got this massive hall that's built like a castle with loads of gaming tables. They've got a Bugman's Brewery, which is like a Bugman's Bar, which is like a pub. It kind of like all kind of Warhammer paraphernalia all on the walls, and they sell like themed food. And they've also got this amazing display hall where they have all the miniatures from across the ranges and stuff. It's a wonderful place. If you ever come to the UK, I'll have to show you.
Yeah, every time we talk, there's another reason I need to visit the UK again.
Definitely. But yeah, and it's like 10 minutes walk from my house. If anything, Bugman's Bar is my local pub.
I quite like my profile picture on Facebook.
What is it again?
It's Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
With my face.
You see, at least that's halfway.
Yeah. The face is all you need.
Yeah. Maybe if you wore like, I don't know, an Iron Man helmet on top, it would complete the picture.
Yeah, but people wouldn't know who I was then, I guess. Because I've got to be me.
Yeah. And you're wearing a Superman t-shirt. Terrible.
Well, I like everything like that.
So, Alex?
Yeah?
The conclusion from this profile pic thing, to me, sounds like I need to force you to make a model built after me so I can use it as my profile pic.
Or at least do some artwork.
Or at least do some artwork, yeah. But I think I'm not looking that different from Matt Muldoon.
I don't know. His beard isn't ginger. Or red. I think your beard's more red than ginger.
Yeah, it is. It is really, really rad.
Yeah. Awesome.
We have a question from Flytrap Factory again.
Yeah.
Got some great questions. How long does it take you to sculpt an average 28 to 32 millimeter figure? For example, one of your Albion guards. And what material apart from milliput are you using?
Ooh. Now, that question depends on a number of factors. The one about the time. If it's one that I know exactly what it's going to look like in my head, and I'm super, super inspired, and I am raring to go, it would take me about a single sitting, a day's single sitting. So about 6 hours non-stop sculpting, I could probably get it done. If it's one that I'm not too sure on the design and I'll tweak a few things here and there, maybe a couple of days, 2-3 days, not sculpting all the time, but probably working on other things. If it's a model that I really don't want to make and I've been putting off, about 6 months.
Or even longer. I could give you some examples.
Yeah. But yes, serious answer, probably around 8 to 10 hours, the safe guess. Not in one sitting, but as I said, it depends on how inspired I'm feeling and also how definite the design is in my head beforehand. Because there are some models that almost sculpt themselves, yet there are others where I'm not quite sold on the design, so there'll be a few kind of tweaks or maybe even full resculpts until I'm definitely happy with the model. But there are some which, as I said, they just happen. I don't even have to think about it, they just appear in a flurry of putty. As for materials, I mainly use pure milliput nowadays. Over the past few months, I've really got back into that ever since Battle for Troll Bridge, actually, because milliput is a putty that can be directly vulcanized from a metal casting machine. Whereas if I'm working in oven-baked clays, such as bees putty, and hang on, the doorbell's just rang. My temporary housemates needs letting in. I'll be right back.
So I think this is almost done. I can't believe I painted it in one night. It's quite fast for me.
I'm absolutely jealous and gutted, and at the same time awe-inspired.
Thank you.
Well done.
Great, Adam. Just as usual, remind yourself to put it in a parcel and send it to me.
Yep. And are you sure with it being airbrushed, you're fine with that, Gobbo, still?
It would be okay if you send it to me. By the way, I've got some wash left over. Do you need it?
Oh, yeah. I enjoyed the last stuff that arrived in the post. It had a funny smell, but...
This is a warning. If I ever get your post address, I will send you leftover wash. I promise.
Flytrap's asked a few more questions. When he comes back, Flytrap, I'll ask him.
And I'm back.
Oh, he's back. Flytrap has asked whether you tried Aves epoxy sculpt, or perhaps a blend of Aves, milliput, and green stuff. I've never heard of Aves. AVES?
No, never heard that. Green stuff. I used to use green stuff all the time. You know, it's the putty that everyone starts off with because it's the one that's sold in Games Workshop. And I've used it in various forms, mixed with various putties. But with this particular brand of milliput, the yellow grey, which is the one that I use, the consistency just doesn't work because it's quite a tacky milliput. I used to use terracotta milliput back in the day, and that was very kind of clay-like, you know, and it wasn't very tacky. So I mixed green stuff in to give it that stickiness, which allowed me to work on it. Whereas this yellow-grey stuff, it's kind of like that anyway. So I don't need to add green stuff to it. But the Avis one, I've never heard of that before. Is that grey stuff? Because I've heard of tales of grey stuff, but I've never actually used it.
I've never heard of it either.
I've sculpted a couple of things, not as great as this, but I use milliput, and it never turns out well.
What brand of milliput do you use, Dave?
The exact same one as you. It's the
Yellow grey one.
Yeah, the yellow grey. It turns out once you've mixed them together, it is like a sort of mustardy colour.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. The models seem to, well, it was a base I was working on, and it just seemed to flop.
Well, that's why you use armatures. I mean, it's one of the things which I teach in my sculpting class. In fact, half of it's split over 2 days. It's 2 Saturdays, and half of the first day, so a quarter of the entire masterclass, is how to build a decent armature, because that is make or break of the model. If you haven't got a good armature, you've just got no support, and especially if you're working with putties that don't keep their shape while they're soft, such as milliput, you're just not going to have any luck with it at all. So what kind of stuff were you sculpting, Dave?
I can show you if you want.
Yeah?
Okay.
Flytrap says it's Aves, as in rhymes with shaves.
Oh, I was pronouncing it like the Latin for bird. Aves.
Mm.
No, Aves. What colour is it?
I'll let you know when he posts. So what do you think to your Manticore now, Alex? Because I know it's not your favourite, but
I must say, I very much like your very natural paint job, Adam. It looks like a real animal.
yeah, that's what I went for.
I really like that. I hope you're going to give it a nice snowy base.
A nice what?
Snowy base.
Yeah.
Boy. Yeah, that one I might have to go in the rule book, actually. The North rule book.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Wow, such an honour.
Mm.
So this is the I've got the sculpt which I worked on. It's don't know if you can see the base, but
that looks really sweet.
it was just the base I thought of doing with this particular model.
Yeah.
That's the milliput, and
it looks pretty good to me, man.
Oh well, thank you.
So what went wrong with it, Dave? You said it went floppy or something?
Yeah, you see, I don't know if you can see, but the do you know the bit what he stood on?
Yeah.
It sort of flopped down, and it was actually sort of parallel with the side of the cliff just down side of it. And it's as though it wasn't supported on the inside, because that's just a solid bit of milliput. That it's possibly held together. It was held together with the paint at first. That was the only thing holding it up.
But you see, if you'd used bits of wood or wire or stuff to give a firm base to sculpt that on, you wouldn't have that problem.
Ah, cool. Right.
It's like imagine having a person without any bones that just flop. You need rigid support whenever you're working with any soft material.
Right, I see. Yeah, but yeah, I think it turned out quite well. The after everything.
What company is that from? I don't recognise the skulls.
It's a Malifaux 10 Thunder.
Is it plastic?
Yeah, it's made out of the same sort of plastic that Games Workshop use for their models.
Excuse me. Is it polyurethane? Is that plastic they use?
I'm not sure. It's do you know the typical bog standard grey colour?
Yeah, like the dark grey colour.
Yeah, it's that plastic. Bonds really well with the polycement, the Humbrol one.
Yeah, the plastic glue.
Yeah. But that's that one, yeah. So.
Well, yeah, give milliput a bit of time. I mean, it's been around for 40 years, so. Probably a lot more traditional, because I have my metal caster actually. He, as well as casting metal. He also has his own range, and he usually does. I'm not quite sure on the scale. I think it's 15 mil, but he does historical stuff. He says he's been sculpting with milliput for 50 years.
Wow.
In fact, the nickname that my dad and I give him is Milliput Dave. Other Dave. Which I think is quite a nice nickname, actually. I wouldn't mind the nickname Milliput Dave. And he was the one who got me back into using Milliput again. So
wow. Yeah. Like I said, Dave, everyone should know a Dave. They're good for something.
I know numerous Daves.
But are they as cool as me?
Oh, it depends on your definition of cool. I mean, there are a few Daves in the Arcworlde community.
Oh, right.
There's a David Smith, who's one of the playtesters, and he's been around since the first Kickstarter.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a lovely chap. I often see him at Salute.
That's good. That yeah.
Veteran.
It's good that I think as soon as I started seeing Arcworlde, I knew I had to play more.
That's good. Hopefully you'll enjoy the additions that Troubles in the North will bring.
I will. I like the rules so far.
Oh yeah, Dave's been helping me playtest some of the new rules.
Oh, that's good. I'm sure Gobbo will be pleased.
Yeah, what's happened to Gobbo?
I'm painting.
Oh.
Is it that irritating if I don't talk?
No, we've just had such a history with bad connectivity on this that we didn't know whether your microphone had just cut out and you're wondering why we were...
I didn't understand you. Please say it again. Alex, I didn't understand you. Please say it again.
I said, with the history of connectivity problems we've had on this conversation, I wasn't sure whether or not your microphone had just cut out. And you were...
I had one single disconnect. One. The history of... come on.
Whereas this has been the first time I've actually managed to even be here.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've figured out what was going wrong. So
Yeah, whatever you've done's worked, hasn't it?
yeah, I think it was. I wasn't the USB port. Well, the camera's meant to be for. I think it's USB 3 rather than USB 2 or something. And
All right.
I've got one of those on my desktop, and that's on the back. So I just plugged it in there, and it seems to be working a charm. So that's good.
Good.
Yay!
Woo!
Yeah.
Raw.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a rest from this Manticore. I think I'm quite pleased with it, and
Sexy.
I think I'll continue with my Troll Hunter.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a painted one of those yet.
Oh well, he's partly done. Can you see him?
Yeah, I can see him.
Everyone likes the Troll Hunter, even if he is a halfling.
Especially because he's a halfling.
No.
I don't know why people love halflings so much.
I don't like halflings.
No, but the community loves them.
Dagfin does, doesn't he? He was here last week.
Dagfin collects nothing else.
Duckfin brings loving halflings to a new level.
Yeah, well, hopefully he likes the Troubles in the North ones.
I think he will. I mean, they are halflings.
That's true. That's true. In fact, Brunhilde is one of my favourite sculpts of the Troubles in the North range so far that I've done. I'm really happy with her.
Okay, what are your other favorites?
Ooh, I really like. This is going to be a really obscure one, but I really like the happy underling in the Dark Lord set.
He's great.
The one who's doing a little dance. Don't know why, I just really like that model.
I really do like the Njosvald spear guard with the lowered spear.
Oh yeah, that one.
That one is awesome.
Thanks, man.
I really do like the nose poking
Hobgoblin.
goblin, and the happy and the grunty underling. They are both very cool. The grumpy one. They're both very awesome.
We've got some questions. Flytrap has sent you a link, Alex, and me, to the Aves clay that he uses or is recommended. Judge Gudge is here, my friend Judge Gudge. Judge is an awesome painter. You guys need to check out his YouTube channel. He's won a Golden Demon as Judge.
Oh wow!
He's awesome. He says he uses milliput for basing and use cork as the structure, then build milliput on top of it. Dave.
Oh, so fantastic!
Uses so cork first.
Cool.
You're right. We are learning so much tonight. It's great.
Yeah, this is a voyage of discovery.
Knowledge is power. And I'm powerful, yeah.
So I'm going to have to hang up the brushes in about 10 minutes, but Judge, I would love to have you on this next week. We've been doing this every Wednesday now.
Yeah. Cool. Is he an Arcworlde fan? What's his real name?
Judge. His name's Judge.
Yeah, I can't remember his surname. I know his first name. He's not an Arcworlde. I don't think he's discovered Arcworlde yet. I've talked to him about it, but he doesn't really. I don't think he really does much wargame. He just tends to do painting.
So how did he find this little chat then?
We follow each other on Facebook and stuff like that. So I tweeted it as well.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Because I'm pretty good with remembering names.
But if he likes just painting, Arcworlde should be the perfect system for him.
I'm sure it is.
God, but what are you using as a stand for your painting Veil? Because it's full of liquid.
Yeah, it's alcohol. It's
Nice.
proper isopropyl, which I use to clean off glue stamps and stuff on other projects I do.
Oh, okay.
And they're pretty heavy, so I don't have any problems with them falling over. And for the boglins, I already finished. I'm using my girlfriend's nail polish.
Does she mind that?
I bought them.
Oh, fair enough then.
I said I need. Those are really great because I like the square-like grip.
Yeah.
And they have the right proportion, the right weight, and a very smooth surface, so that you can put miniatures very good on them. And they just cost about €1 or so a piece. So I asked, it said, I need new stands.
About £500 right now.
I need new stands. So which colors of nail polish do you want?
Fluorescent pink.
So we have another one with a purple one.
Ah, nice.
I really like this sculpt. I like his face. I like his. He's one of my favorite ever boglins.
Ah, thank you.
But very funny thing of him is he's got straps on his trouser at the back, but not at the front.
Really?
At least I couldn't find any.
Well, I did make him quite a while ago, so some of my older sculpts that could very much kind of guess.
Yeah, you don't know that. My all-time favorite boglin is this one.
Ah, yeah, that one.
The cheering one. That one is awesome.
I think my favorite boglin has to be either the one with the fiddle from Battle for Trollbridge.
It's also an absolutely fantastic sculpt.
or one of the out of production, actually one of the first ever boglins I made from the first ever Bayok warband that I did.
The one on that not Kickstarter founding page where you got 10 copies sold.
Yeah, that's the one where I struggled to
If you
get.
should ever decide to redo them again on a Boglin Bazaar or something, just tell me. I absolutely need to get those.
Where were you when I first tried to get them funded? Oh God, I do find it funny how back when the models were released, nobody was asked about them at all. Yet now, like if I said, "Oh, by the way, I'm selling this like one model I did 5 years ago," people go into fits about it.
Have you seen the Thane I've been painting as well? He's got a gloss on him now because I've been oil washing him. But this is the Thane of yours that I've been painting as well, Alex.
Very nice. Where did you get him from?
I think he came free with an order I got off you ages ago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
weren't you
I've
giving
got
them away at
those.
one point?
I wasn't giving them away, but he was sculpted for Vatnatak 2015.
That's maybe where I got him from then.
So it was at the Vatnatak that we first met. So
Yeah. So
I might have bought him then. It's funny, he was never popular on he was posted on Beast of War, and a lot of the people commented saying, "Oh, his face looks weird. You know, it looks like Wallace, looks like Wallace from Wallace and Gromit. You know, I don't like the caricature on his face." Yeah, I was always really happy with the caricature.
yeah, I like it.
Face.
But all your characters are really characterful. That's not a great sentence, is it? But
I do like have quite a cartoony style when it comes to my models. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how that translates into 75mm. 4mm if I ever do it that size. I would really like to, though.
I'd like it. I haven't painted that many 75mm figurines, but the ones I have, I've enjoyed. There's 52, or is it 54? 54 is quite good as well.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at Arcworlde or Warplugs or Alex old funding things like Cast Up the Bayoks.
Yeah.
And they're awesome. I visit them every now and then. I don't like the pig, but I think I don't need to like every model you ever made.
No, of course not.
But the drunk boglin is an epic one.
Yeah, those are the days. That was that was back when I was when I was at school and stuff. People would always.
You don't have the molds anymore by accident, do you?
Well, that would be telling. Let's just say that the next Boglin Bazaar was going to be a very interesting one.
Yeah, we could have guessed that after you posted all the pictures of miniatures you found in some boxes.
Yeah, when I was moving out of my old house.
So for people that don't know, we should really explain what a Boglin Bazaar is. Cause,
it's where small green dudes out of the bayou sell stuff. Obviously.
Yeah, it's essentially a car boot sale of all of my old models that aren't in production anymore. Because for some weird reason, people still want to buy them.
So, guys, I unfortunately have to call it a day.
Actually, it's 1:15. I said I'd finish about 1:15. So should we wind things up now? Is that okay?
We can do that.
So thank you everyone once again for joining in. I find it much more sociable this than painting on Twitch. It's nice to have real people with me to chat to, but obviously I appreciate all the people in the chat box as well, because I don't think Google Hangouts can cope with everyone in here, so it's nice to have people chatting as well in the chat box. So thank you, Daniel and Fly, for Trap Factory and Raging Again. Nice to see you, Judge Gudge. You need to get on camera with us one day. That'd be great. And everyone else. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Gobbo. Thanks, Andreas, who's now gone.
Shall I post
Thanks,
this?
Adam. Thanks for having us.
Say again, Alex.
Shall I post this video? If this is going to be a regular thing every Wednesday, I might put a post. You know how I did with your Twitch streams on Battle for Troll Bridge?
Yeah.
I could put these Google Hangouts on the Kickstarter front page, so that, because obviously we've been talking a lot about Arcworlde today. There's been a few teasers. There's been a lot of discussion on rules and things, and as well, you know, everyone's paying Arcworlde models except for Andreas. But we should
make sure you get my face on there, mate.
Oh, definitely. It's going to be front and center.
Yes.
So do you think it's a good idea, or shall I?
I think it's a great idea.
I think having my face on there is a great idea. But
okay, let's call it a day before this escalates.
Thanks for having me, guys.
But yeah,
nice to see you again, Alex.
Yep. See you later, lads.
See you later, mate. So this will get automatically uploaded to YouTube. So I'll send you the link, Alex. And likewise, everyone else should be able to find it on YouTube if they want to watch it, if they've missed anything.
Excellent. Sounds splendid.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Yep. Catch
See you
you guys.
Bye.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah. See you next week.